you know you want to start a business. What you may not know is how to make it a reality. GoDaddy's Arrow's got you. It uses AI to help you find the domain name that's right for you. Next, answer a few prompts, and with a couple clicks, Arrow will design a professional-looking website or storefront in minutes. Arrow can even help you stay engaged with your customers. Just attach a professional email that matches your domain. With GoDaddy Arrow, you can build a business without having to know a thing about this stuff. Just visit GoDaddy.com to get started. That's GoDaddy.com. Premium features require paid subscription. See terms on site. Hey friend, welcome back to Call Her Creator. We are on part 3 of our 6-week Reinvention challenge. So far, we've talked about the moment everything starts feeling uncomfortable and we start to realize we're becoming someone different and we're stepping into that light. Then in part 2, we talked about your first week of reinvention and what all that looks like, the goals you need to set, the accountability you need on your side, the mute button on Facebook. I even walked you guys through the visibility reset, how to show up online in life. Because if you are stepping into 2026 as that girl and you're becoming that person, then you can't be afraid to show up online. You can't be afraid to shrink down. You've got to make big moves. So this week, we're stepping into that person you're becoming. We're stepping into that woman that you've just awakened, the woman that you want to become, how she walks, how she talks, what she does day to day. I've got some nitty gritty secrets that we're really going to pull out today to help you become that girl for 2026 and reinvent yourself. Are you ready for it? Hey friend, welcome back to Call Her Creator, powered by your all-in-one creator store, Stan. Stan is the easiest way for you to make money online. All of your courses, digital products, and bookings are hosted within your link in bio. If you're ready to start your free trial, visit my show notes and click my affiliate link to get started today. I need you to know something though, right out of the gate, is that this is not a cute little reset. This is not another fluffy vision board exercise. This is a line in the sand. During these 6 weeks, we are waking up the woman that you are meant to become, not the watered down version of her, not the people pleasing version of her, not the version that's running on autopilot or reacting to everyone else's needs, the version of you that has been whispering and tugging at you for months, for years, for days, whatever, however long it might be. Hey, remember me? That's the girl that we're pulling out. So if you're ready to take on the challenge, head to my broadcast channel over on Call Her Creator Instagram account. There's a couple of girls in there that we're almost at 100 members. The channel is going to be your exclusive way to have conversations with me. I'm going to be sharing little messages every day, and it's just a really great way to hold yourself accountable. So if you aren't over there, get on inside. All right, let's get ready for today's episode. Now, if you're listening to this while you walk or you're driving or you're doing the dishes, whatever it might be, I want you to just take a breath in and notice how your body feels. Are you tired? Are you wired? Are you numb? Are you feeling anxious? Do you feel like you're always one step behind in your own life? I know like last night I had the worst anxiety. My husband's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "I don't know. Like there's nothing particularly wrong with me. I just felt really like weird." So I had to sit for a moment and just kind of breathe in and breathe out. I did a little meditation in the bedroom. My 5-year-old, she wanted to do it with me. Bless her heart. We all know how toddlers are. I don't know how she sat there with me for as long as she did, but we both kind of sat on the bed and laid down with our palms up and did this guided meditation. She's over there. She had a lollipop because we still have some Halloween candy left. She's over there licking her lollipop with her palms up and her eyes closed. And I was like, "You're just literally my little best friend." But we sat there, we did some meditation. I felt a little bit better. And some of the stuff I'm going to walk through with you guys today does include that. If you're not a fan of it, totally cool. I've got some journal prompts as well. And I've just got some tasks that you can do that's going to alleviate some of that stress, some of that anxiety, whatever that weird feeling is that you're feeling. This week of the challenge, though, is all about awakening. And when you awake your identity, when you awake your truth, you end up awakening parts of you that have been silenced and denied or shelved because life got a little too loud for you. So the theme of this week is just simple, but it's hard to live, okay? So we're going to wake up the woman that you were meant to come. It sounds super simple. We're just waking her up. But when you have to do all the activities that entail that, that's where it can get a little harder. But we're going to talk about why you went to sleep in the first place, the patterns that have maybe kept you stuck into being this smaller version of yourself, what alignment and misalignment actually feel like in your body and your life so that you can tell when it's happening and recourse yourself. And then how reinvention is really self-leadership and self-loyalty in action. By the end of today's episode, you're gonna finish these two powerful sentences, okay? The first one is, the part of me I'm waking up again is, and then your next sentence is, the woman I am becoming over the next 6 weeks is. So if you have a notebook nearby, grab it. Maybe you have your phone and you're walking, you can pull up your notes app. If not, just stay present with me and let these words really land. Turn off everything else in your mind and just listen to my words. You can come back and write things down if you need to later. All right, let's begin with the awakening. I feel like I'm like, I don't know, therapist right now, which I know I'm not, but I can be your therapist. I can be your pretend therapist today, right? So I want to start with something important. If you feel disconnected from yourself right now, that is not proof that anything's wrong or that it's broken. It's really just proof that you're a survivor and you've survived hard things. Most women do not wake up one morning and say, you know what? I'm going to disconnect from my own desires today. I'm going to do the complete opposite of how I feel. Things that I want, I don't want them anymore. Nobody wakes up and says that. It just really happens slowly. You stop going to Pilates and you stop reading your daily devotional, or you stop getting your nails done, or you stop going and getting massages, or you stop taking bubble baths, those things that used to make you really happy. You just slowly start making yourself smaller so other people feel more comfortable around you. Or you learn to be easy and low maintenance, hence you stopped getting your nails done. You learn to say yes when your whole body is screaming the word no. And you learn that being liked feels safer to you than just being honest with yourself, with other people. And then so without even realizing it, you start to tuck away the parts of you that feel like too much or like they feel too loud for you. Too ambitious, too sensitive, too opinionated, too much. You become responsible. You become efficient. You become dependable. And that's all great. But then somewhere down the line, you stop feeling like yourself and you stop feeling alive. And that's not a very good feeling. So I want you to think back and just for a minute, kind of think about who were you before you became this current version of who you are today, like the one that's sad or upset or feels weird or doesn't feel like herself. Who were you before that happened? Think about maybe the younger version of yourself, or maybe you weren't even younger. Maybe it was just the person you were 2 years ago, the happier version of you. What was she daydreaming about? What lit her up inside and made her really excited? Like, how did she express herself? What did she do for fun? What did she know deep down she was called to do? What were her dreams and aspirations? I really want you to close your eyes if you can and like picture her. And then I want you to notice something, and this is the tough, scary part. She's not gone. She's just buried under all of these like false expectations, under the survival that you've been living in, under being realistic. And that can be scary. Like, how do we get her out? Is she lost forever? No, you just got to find her again. Got to wake her up. So life teaches you to protect yourself, and that's fine. But when that happens, some parts of you go into hiding. Maybe you became the strong one for your family, or maybe you became the productive one at work, or maybe you became the caregiver or the glue or the responsible one. And when you're constantly holding everything together, it can feel selfish to ask yourself, what do I want? Who am I actually becoming? So I want you to listen when I say these next words, and that's, if you feel like you lost yourself, it's okay. You did what you needed to do to make it to this moment. But the fact that you're here, the fact that you're listening to the Reinvention Challenge episode tells me something else. It tells me that those buried parts of you are starting to tap on the glass, right? They're saying, hey, you promised you wouldn't forget me. Hey, you said we'd come back when things calm down. You said you'd come back for me. You said that I mattered. And so this week is you keeping that promise. not by burning everything down, but by waking yourself up. So let's talk about breaking old patterns that no longer serve you. So, reinvention is not just about adding new habits, it's also about retiring those old patterns that are quietly sabotaging you. So, I want to walk you through a few really common patterns that might be showing up in your life. And I want you to be brutally honest with yourself as you listen to, these patterns. You don't need to judge yourself. You need to actually give yourself a lot of grace through all of this. You just need to recognize too, like, okay, I can take accountability for this. So pattern number one is numbing instead of noticing. So maybe your default after a really long day is to scroll for 2 hours without actually seeing anything. Or maybe you binge watch something you don't even like, trash TV. I know I've been there, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Like, I don't even like watching those women. I just will put on trash TV sometimes just to take my thoughts away from all the stresses in life. Maybe I'm scrolling on my phone, doom scrolling, don't really even enjoy what I'm looking at. Or maybe you're someone who doesn't watch trash TV, but you eat trash food and you snack and you self sabotage through stress. Or maybe you pour a glass of wine that you don't really actually want. You're just doing it out of habit, or you're doing it to numb that pain or that uncomfortable feeling that you're feeling. Now, this isn't about shame. This is truly about being honest with yourself and identifying those bad habits. Are you resting during these bad habits, or are you just numbing yourself so that you don't have to feel, the real things that are going on? So numbing says, I cannot bear to feel this, so I will distract myself. Noticing says, I'm hurting, I'm tired, I feel overwhelmed. Let me see what I need to make me feel better. They're two different things, very, very much two different things. Reinvention requires noticing, not numbing, because you can't change what you refuse to feel. So you have to feel those negative feelings so that you can find ways to make them feel better, right? So then this leads me into pattern number two, which is overcommitting to things. You're probably feeling this way, or you're feeling tired because you overcommitted to things and you do not have to confront yourself now. So a lot of high achieving women stay busy on purpose because they're just trying to numb the things that are bothering them. If your calendar is packed, there is no time to ask yourself the hard questions, right? Like, am I actually happy? Am I actually doing what I want to do? Do I even want this business in this form? Is this relationship healthy that I'm in? Is this what God is actually calling me to do? So we start to overfill our time to just drown out those questions. We say yes to everything. We become everyone else's safe space, but everyone's not our safe space. We become everyone's problem solver, but we don't have a problem solver. And then we're shocked when there's no room left for us. So if your schedule is so full that you have zero white space to hear your own thoughts, that's not just a time management issue. It's actually a self-avoidance issue. So if you have a moment, I do want you to kind of look at your calendar on your phone. What kind of moments in between do you have? Do you even set buffers in between? Are you someone that books call after call after call, or meeting after meeting, or maybe you go to soccer practice and then you go to dance practice and then you've got basketball? Like, are you booking all these things so that you don't have to sit and feel with yourself? Because that's where that pattern comes in. And that's a self-avoidance issue. Another pattern that I see is shrinking your dreams to match your current confidence. So, there's a version of you who wants more impact, or more money, or more peace, or more alignment. But every time a big idea drops into your spirit, you immediately negotiate with it. It's like, I'll do that when my kids are older, or I'll launch that when I have more followers, or I'll start when my life is less chaotic. I've said all of those things, by the way. But the translation of all of those things is I'll move when I feel confident, right? And the hard truth of that is that the confidence you're waiting for is just actually on the other side of the thing you're avoiding. So you don't need to keep choosing the smaller version of your life and then be angry that you feel unfulfilled. Reinvention is you lovingly calling yourself out on these things. Oh, I'm waiting for the perfect moment. Well, the perfect moment is actually never going to come. You have to create that perfect moment. You have to create these perfect, beautiful moments in your life. You can't just wait for the perfect moment to come, because it's not going to. And I can say a little bit about this with my business. I knew for a very long time that I wanted to start my own business, but I always said, okay, it'll happen when I have XYZ amount of money saved, or it'll happen when my kid is this years old, or it'll happen when my husband takes off with his business. And, year after year, things kept going. And I finally was like, I've been making these excuses for myself year after year. It's time to just go all in. And so little by little, I started posting things while I was at my full-time job and just creating I was creating something to where I finally was like, okay, I really love what I'm doing here. It's time to go all in. And then I finally committed. And it was not the perfect timing. I had just had my second baby. Like if my business would have melted, then it would really have been a bad time because we had just had our second baby. Babies aren't free. They cost money. We had just gotten into a new house. I couldn't let it all die down. So I had to keep going. So sometimes when you just take that next step or you do the thing, you kind of don't have a choice but to make it work, right? And that's kind of where I was. My back was against the wall and I had to make it work. So waiting for that perfect moment is never going to be a thing. So stop waiting for it. And sometimes waiting for the perfect moment is not in all of those big, serious decisions either. That might even be like you just getting a gym membership. Like that's not it is life altering, but that's not like a quitting your job type decision, but it's still a big decision that you have to make.
Running a business online? Instantly build trust with your customers with a domain and matching professional email from GoDaddy so people know you mean business. And there's never been a better time. Visit godaddy.com/GD now and you can get a domain and professional email plan for just 99 cents a month for one whole year. That's a little price for a lot of credibility. Choose the domain that's right for you and a professional email to match. Go to godaddy.com/GD now and look legit. That's godaddy.com/GD now. New customer purchases only. Products auto-renew separately. See terms on site.
The next pattern I see is women betraying themselves to keep the peace. And this is one that I struggle with largely in my life. So how many times have you said yes to something when you actually meant to say no? How many times have you stayed quiet just to keep someone happy or to avoid conflict? Me. How many times have you made yourself the villain in your own mind so someone else could stay comfortable? Me. So that's what we call self-betrayal. And it sounds a lot like, I don't want to rock the boat, or, oh no, it's not a big deal, or I'll just deal with it later. No, you won't. That's self-betrayal. You are putting yourself behind to make someone else comfortable. And that's probably one of my biggest issues that I have that I'm trying to overcome. But I know a lot of women out there listening to this are, in fact, dealing with self-betrayal as well. So if that's what self-betrayal sounds like, then what does self-loyalty sound like? Oh, my feelings actually do matter. Oh, my limits are valid. My boundaries are valid. It is safe to honor what I need. It is okay to say no to you right now. And so this week, actually, while you're just doing your regular life things that you do, I want you to start noticing, where do I betray myself? What are things that you do? Not in a most dramatic way, but just in those little small ways, because those small betrayals actually add up to big betrayals, right? They slowly convince you that you can't trust yourself. And if you don't trust yourself, it's very hard to reinvent a life that you really want to live and that you're really going to be happy in. So reinvention requires that self-trust. And self-trust is rebuilt one honest decision at a time, being very honest with yourself moving forward. Now, with those different patterns, hopefully you heard one and you're like, oh, can relate. And hopefully I kind of talked to you about why that's not how we're going to continue if we want to reinvent ourselves for 2026. But let's talk about alignment and misalignment and how it actually feels, because that's when you're going to know that something's off, right? So there's a word we throw around online a lot. It's like being aligned with my clients, or having aligned offers, or having an aligned life. I feel like alignment is like this huge, hot word this year for 2025. But if we bring it out of the clouds and really bring it down into our bodies, alignment isn't perfection. It's just honesty. And there's a lot of things that can mean alignment. Think about your body exhaling. That means you're in alignment with something. Or your shoulders dropping, comfortable. Your nervous system softening. A sense of, this fits me, even if it's very challenging. A really good example of this would be, when you go to the chiropractor and you get an alignment and you just feel so much better. Like you go in there like a crooked, hunched over shrimp and you walk out with your shoulders back like, oh, I really needed that. That's kind of what it's like with alignment in your life. You'll know something will feel off if you're unaligned. Like you might have, honestly, you could be holding your shoulders in all the time, or you could be clenching your teeth. There was actually a couple months ago, I had almost what it felt like lockjaw, and I read online that it can be caused from stress. And at the time that I had all this going on, I was going through a very stressful moment in our life. We were like getting ready to move out of our house. We had made friendships with people that we were living with that had become family, and like everything was just changing. And so I was waking up every day with like sometimes my jaw would honestly be locked and I was out of alignment with myself. So misalignment feels like you're dreading something or you've got a tight chest. Maybe you're just going through the motions. You feel robotic. Maybe you say things like, I hate this, but I'm going to keep doing it. Like that is misalignment. And I want to give you a few questions that you can ask yourself this week to identify if you're out of alignment with your life. Okay, so the first one is, where do I feel dread in my day consistently? Okay, so like most of us, if you're listening to this, you're probably old enough to have a job or you own a business or you work somewhere. You have a pretty decent schedule where you know what you're doing every single day, right? Well, is there a day, not a date, but is there a day or is there a time of day where you feel like dread? Note it down. Is there a day or a time where you feel resentful? Like even if you don't say it out loud, like you feel resentment towards something. Is there a day where you feel energized and anchored even if you're really tired? And then what part of your life feels like you're performing instead of actually living? And maybe that's in work. Like I said, that was my example for you, but maybe it's not in work. Maybe it's when you get on your phone and you're using social media and you see a certain person's post. Or maybe it's in your morning routine when you're doing XYZ, you feel this sense of dread. Or maybe it's a friendship that was built on who you used to be, not who you're becoming. And every time you make plans with that friend or you see that friend, you feel this weirdness in your tummy or like your heart, something feels off. Alignment is choosing the life that actually fits your soul, not the life that looks the best from the outside. Misalignment is living in a costume, right? So it's two different things. Like when you're aligned, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel at peace. But misalignment is like fake. You feel like you're wearing someone else's costume. You feel like you're in someone else's life, living their life. There is a very distinctive difference between being aligned and being misaligned, and you're going to feel it. So a simple way to feel into this is imagine you press pause on your life for just a second. No one can be disappointed. No one can judge you. No one can leave you. No one can react. And you just get this one honest moment where you can say, oh, I hate this part of my life. Or, oh, I love this part of my life. Which one comes up first for you? That's your inner compass, okay? So reinvention is not about burning your whole life down. It's about telling the truth and speaking your truth and feeling your truth. This part is not working, or this part is working. And then you slowly, lovingly, courageously, you begin to realign with that feeling. Now, reinvention, self-leadership, and self-loyalty. So most of us were trained to lead everyone but ourselves, right? Like you're taught from a young age, be kind to others. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Like we're brought up to lead everybody else. We lead our families as women, we lead our children, we lead our kids, we lead our clients, we lead our teams, we lead our communities. But self-leadership is a different muscle, right? Self-leadership is you saying things like, okay, I'm responsible for my own energy here, or I'm responsible for my own choices. I'm responsible for how I should show up for myself. It's you becoming the kind of woman you would actually trust to follow along with. Think about a leader that you admire. Maybe it's somebody you know in real life, or maybe it's someone that you watch online. Maybe it's a woman of faith that you look up to. I have a lot of people that I admire, and they're all like for different reasons, right? Like I have a woman I look up to because of her faith and how strong she is, and in the relationship she has with Jesus and what she spreads with with her faith to everybody. And then I have someone I look up to for mentorship and business. And then I have someone that I look up to for life advice. Like I am picturing all three of these people. So they're all different, right? And I can exactly tell you and explain to you what I love about each of those people. So for you, think about those three things. Think about a leader in your life, just like a life leader. Think about a business mentor, and then maybe think about like someone of faith. What do you like about those people? And write it down too. Write down the things that they do that you wish you could do more of, or that you just admire about them. Are they steady? Can they handle like high stress situations really cool and collected? Are they rooted? Are they kind and strong at the same time? Like, what is it about them that you admire? Maybe they keep their word. Maybe they're very honest. Maybe this person makes really bold decisions even when they're scared. Whatever it might be, write it down. And then I want you to imagine being that kind of leader for yourself. Okay. Not in like a harsh way, or not even like a get your life together kind of way. It's more of like a loving way. Like self-leadership sounds like, hey, Caitlin, I noticed you're tired. Let's not commit to that extra thing. This was me this past weekend. So side note for all of this, and I'm learning so hard to lean into this. Like last week was pretty crazy for me. I had to travel to Chicago for like 24, 48 hours. Like I flew out Tuesday, came home Wednesday night. I got home at 3:30 a.m. I was tired. So that was Wednesday, which was technically Thursday morning, right? And then Thursday, I had a podcast episode I had to record. I had some things to do with work. And then I had to be at my daughter's. It was like a mommy and daughter dinner that night. Oh, and then I had a hair appointment that day too. So full schedule on Thursday. And then Friday, my daughter was in the parade, had to take her to the parade. And then Saturday, she had dance recital at 11. And then we had a Christmas party at 7. So Sunday rolls around, and through all of this, earlier that week, I had already felt tired because of my autoimmune disorder. And I had like a lump show up underneath my armpit, and I had like itchy armpits, discolored. Like I could just tell my body was wreaking havoc. It was like, hey girl, you too busy. You need to calm yourself down. So Sunday rolls around and I'm like, I am not doing anything today. No one can make me do anything. I'm not getting out of this bed. I think I ended up getting up and like making breakfast. I don't even think I drank coffee on Sunday. I literally was a couch potato, but in the bed. I rewatched Stranger Things with my son. And then like brunch-ish time rolls around like 1:00, and my husband's like, hey, we have that brunch with Remax, who he does business with. I was like, I'm not going. You could not pay me $1 million to get out of this bed right now. I am not doing it. I can't do it. I have to rest. And he knew I had some health issues like that week. And he's like, okay, no problem. Like he didn't make me go, but it's things like that. Like you can say yes all you want and you can go to all these things, but at some point your body is literally going to say, nope, not doing it. And I felt that way that Saturday night. Like the Christmas party, I really did not want to go to, but we had already committed and RSVP'd. And I know it would cost my friends money if we didn't go, because it was this really nice Christmas party. Got to meet the Ying Yang twins. So happy that we got to go. It was so fun. But that Sunday, I literally did nothing. And so I had to listen to my body. And that's for you too. Like sometimes your body is going to say like, you're tired. Don't commit to that next extra thing. Or, hey, I can see you're scared. We're still going to move because we do hard things. I'm here for you. Or, maybe your body is saying, I know you want to numb out. I know you want to pull out of this out of body experience. You don't want to feel these things, but instead, let's take a walk instead and decide from there. Or I know you're overwhelmed, Caitlin. I know you've got anxiety, but let's just simplify this for a minute. Let's ask for help. That's another big one that I struggle with. So in a loving way, it's you stepping into this more wise, grounded, truthful version of yourself. You have to guide yourself instead of abandoning yourself. And then there's self-loyalty too. So self-loyalty is you saying things like, I am on my own team, or I will not throw myself under the bus to keep the peace, or I will not keep putting myself at the bottom of my own list, or I am willing to disappoint others in order to stop disappointing myself. That is the big one for me. I want to write that down. I'm actually highlighting it on my notes right now. Self-loyalty might mean saying no when your whole body is screaming no. That was me on Sunday. I had some self-loyalty for myself. Even if I knew I might upset my husband by not going to the brunch with him, I had to be loyal to myself that Sunday because I had done so much that week. Maybe it's you leaving a situation that looks good on paper, or it looks good for your kids, or it looks good for somebody else, but for you, it's actually suffocating you, it's time to walk away. Or maybe that's taking your dreams more seriously, even when no one else understands them yet. Totally been there, done that. Or, maybe it's something small, like just protecting your rest, your joy, your creativity. It can be big things, it can be small things, but self-loyalty is putting yourself first. So for this week, with your homework with all of this, is I want you to start practicing both of these things. Ask yourself, what would self-leadership look like today for me? What would self-loyalty look like in this moment? If something goes on with yourself, like and you're struggling, what does self-loyalty look like right now, Caitlin, before you make your decision? And again, it could be small things. Like it might just mean, hey, you need to go to bed earlier tonight. Or, maybe someone asked you to do something and you can't exactly commit right now. So you got to text them back and say, can't commit right now to that. Or saying what you actually feel instead of what you think they want to hear. That's another big one too that us women especially struggle with, is that we don't want to hurt other people's feelings. And so we say things because we're scared of what it's going to sound like to them and we don't want to hurt their feelings. Thing about reinvention is it's not this big giant leap. It's just these 1,000 little micro moments of self-leadership and self-loyalty that adds up. So let's take a moment to do a guided visualization of what it means to really wake her up, right? Okay, so if you're in a safe space where you can close your eyes, I want you to do that just for a moment. If you're driving, keep your eyes open and you can still listen. If you're driving, you're walking, you're doing things, you could still listen. You don't have to close your eyes. So first, take a deep breath. I'm going to do it with you. Hold it for 4 seconds. So we're going to actually do that again. Exhale really slowly when you do exhale. And then do it one more time. Breathe in. Hold it. Exhale. Now I want you to imagine you're walking into a house that represents your inner world, okay? So some of these rooms feel really warm and alive, but some of these rooms feel really dark and dusty. Some of these doors have actually been closed for a really long time, so they're dark and dusted over. Might be some spider webs there. Now you're going to walk down a hallway and you're going to see this door that you haven't opened in a long time, like years. We're talking years here, okay? On the outside of the door, there's the sign at the top and it says, "The woman I was meant to become." Wouldn't this be so cool if we could just find a door that said that? Now you're going to put your hand on the handle, okay? How are you feeling right now? Are you feeling scared? Feeling excited? Maybe you're afraid to see what's inside. So you're going to open it anyways, okay? We're turning the door. Now we're opening the door. And inside, you see that woman that you want to become, that you were meant to be, that God put you on this earth for. The version of you who is fully awake. She's got like star beams shining out of her. Can you see her? How's she standing? What's her posture like? Is she smiling? Are her eyes bright? Is her hair blowing in the wind? Is she glowing? How does the room feel around her? You just open this door and you're seeing the best version of yourself inside. What does it feel like? This girl that you just opened the door to, she's looking at you with so much love and excitement, and she's not judging you in any way possible. She's not even disappointed in you. She wholeheartedly admires you and loves you so much. She knows every hard thing that you've had to walk through, and she knows every sacrifice that you've ever had to make. She has seen every single heartbreak that you've gone through, every season you survived when you didn't know how you would survive. And she just smiles at you right now and she's putting her hand out to you. Now, she's not saying, "Hey, what took you so long?" Instead, she's saying, "I knew you would come." Now, I want you to ask her a few questions, okay? You can say them out loud or you can say them silently in your mind. What did I forget about myself? What have you been waiting for me to remember? What do you need me to stop tolerating? What do you want me to start honoring? And listen for whatever comes up, like in your mind. You're saying these things out loud. Give yourself a second to listen. Maybe it's words. Maybe you're visualizing things and seeing images. Maybe you're just feeling a certain way right now, but listen to her, okay? Now I want you to hug her and I want you to thank her. And then I want you to imagine stepping closer and closer to her until you actually step right inside of her. Like you're putting on a coat that already fits and it's her. and you can feel her steadiness in your body. You feel your heart calming down. Her clarity in your mind, her courage is coming into your chest. You're not pretending to be someone else. This is actually you. It's the very best version of you. And you're returning to that person. You're returning to that woman. Now take a deep breath. This is the woman you are waking up again, okay? Now, when you're ready, open your eyes. That version of you is not a fantasy. She is your future. She is your assignment for 2026. She is your assignment, okay? She is the life you are building over these next 6 weeks and beyond. How do you feel right now? You feeling weird? You feeling good? You feeling excited? I know for me, like going through that, I feel a little weird. It's a little woo-woo for me, but I also feel very excited. Like, oh my gosh, I feel like there's like a plan for me. Like there's something exciting that's going to happen for me. So now let's anchor all of this in with some journaling, okay? Because if you don't write this stuff down, you're either going to forget it or you're just not going to execute on it. So we need some accountability here. So if you have a notebook nearby, press pause, grab it. If not, pull up your notes app on your phone, something. Or if not, if you don't have any of these, then just make sure you come back to this section of the podcast because I really, really need you to go through these prompts, okay? So let's talk about your prompts for this week. The first prompt that you're going to write down and answer, maybe you just write these down for now, and then this week you're going to work on answering them, okay? So here are your prompts for this week. And what I can do here too, guys, is I can put this in a Google document and link it in the show notes for you. So let me just highlight this real quick. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will link it in the show notes so you can just easily download these journal prompts. Okay, so the first one is the part of me I stopped listening to was. The part of me I stopped listening to was. So maybe there's something inside of you that you just started ignoring. You stopped listening to her. She really liked doing XYZ and you just stopped listening. You started ignoring it. Number 2, I noticed I started abandoning myself when. Think about when you felt this self-abandonment happen. Where were you? What was going on? Why did you do it? What caused you to just abandon yourself? I started abandoning myself when. Number 3, the ways I currently numb out instead of feeling are, there's so many things here. Do you stress eat? Do you watch Netflix like me? I don't know. There's so many things that people use to numb out pain. So the ways I currently numb out instead of feeling are. Number 4, I feel most aligned when I am. Think about those times that you feel the most yourself, the most alive. What are you doing in those moments? Number 5, I feel most like myself when I am. What are you doing? Number 6, self-leadership for me would look like. Number 7, self-loyalty for me would sound like. Remember, that's like sticking up for yourself. What are you taking back control of for yourself? And let your answers be messy here. They do not have to be perfect. It's kind of like whatever comes to mind for you. Do not make them pretty. Do not write what you think a healed version of you would say. Like write down what is true to you right now in your heart, like what you are feeling. And now we're going to complete the 2 sentences that are going to guide you for this entire week, right? So I want you to write them down somewhere that you will see them, that you can look back on. So that could be like your bathroom mirror or in the notes app on your phone, on a sticky note, put it on your desk, put it on the microwave at home, wherever it is. Okay, so here they are. Sentence number 1, the part of me I'm waking up again is it your creativity? Is it your confidence? Is it your faith, your softness, your ambition, your joy, your voice? Finish that in your own words. The part of me I'm waking up again is. Okay, and then sentence number 2, the woman I am becoming over the next 6 weeks is, and don't be vague, okay? We need to be very specific with this sentence. So I've got some examples just to kind of get your brain rolling. The woman I'm becoming over the next 6 weeks is more honest with herself. The woman I'm becoming over the next 6 weeks treats her body with respect, trusts her ideas and takes action, stops betraying herself to keep the peace. These can be as easy or as hard as you want them to be. And you can write multiple sentences for this one or even a full paragraph. Like I know if I'm writing this answer down, I'm probably writing a paragraph of who I want to become in the next 6 weeks. The thing about all of this is that I want you to claim it, right? So I want you to say it out loud. So after you write it down, I want you to read the full sentence out loud, put it into existence, Whisper it to yourself if you have to. The woman I'm becoming in the next 6 weeks is. The cool thing about this is it's not a wish. It's a decision that you're making right now and you're putting it out there. And this is how you make it happen and execute on it and hold yourself accountable. All right. To wrap up this week, this is your Reinvention Challenge homework. Okay, we already got the questions that I want you guys to work on and answer. I'm going to put them in the show notes for you to download. There's a couple things I want you to really work on this week. The first one is to choose one pattern that you want to retire. So from everything we talked about today, choose something that you're going to start disrupting this week. Maybe it's no more numbing yourself with your phone late at night. Maybe it's saying yes before you even pause to check in with yourself. Like, you're going to pause now. Maybe it's overbooking your schedule so you never have to sit alone with your thoughts. We ain't doing that no more. So write it down. This week, I am disrupting the pattern of, and then underneath that, you're going to write, instead, I will do this. And make it simple, make it doable, make it loving. Number 2, read your 2 sentences every morning, okay? So earlier we talked about those 2 sentences. The part of me I'm waking up again is, the woman who I'm becoming over the next 6 weeks is, and read them out loud to yourself every morning this week. Not as a little affirmation, but as a reminder. This is who I am waking up. This is who I'm becoming. Number 3, this one is the most important part out of all 3 of these different assignments for you. Share it with me or with someone you trust. Feel free to DM me on Call Her Creator or the Caitlin Rhodes, whichever account you want to follow, or with someone you trust, best friend, husband, mom, dad, sister, brother, whatever. You don't have to blast your whole life online. So I'm not telling you to go like write a Facebook status, but I do want you to bring this out of your head and into the light somehow. So you can DM me your 2 sentences on Instagram. You can text them to a friend. You can share them with your spouse or your therapist or your mentor, but let someone witness your decision, because reinvention doesn't happen in isolation. We're meant to grow in a community. And that's why I made the Create Her broadcast channel on Instagram, because I want you guys to be able to come to me with that stuff. Now, as we close, I'm going to leave you with this. You're not behind. You're not late. You're not too far gone. You're right on time for your own life. There is a future version of you who is grateful that you decided to wake up today. She remembers this season as the moment everything started to shift, not because her circumstances changed overnight, but because you did. You chose honesty over autopilot. You chose self-leadership over self-abandonment. You chose self-loyalty over people-pleasing. You chose to wake up. So thank you for letting me be a small part of that. If this episode spoke to you, it would mean the absolute world to me if you shared it with another woman who is ready to reinvent herself before 2026, or maybe 2026, you're just listening to this, it's January 2026. Whatever, you can reinvent yourself any day. But if you like this episode, post it to your stories, send it in a text, invite a friend to do the challenge with you. And don't forget, your homework this week is to anchor this. This is the part of me I am waking up again. The woman I'm becoming over the next 6 weeks is. And I'm so, so proud of you for being here. I am cheering for the woman that you are becoming. And I will see you next week for part 4 of the Reinvention Challenge. Talk to you soon.